So if Nicole can be nice to me, you can be nice.
Right.
Barf.
You are a 38-year-old man.
All right, tonight we're going to this shithole. Literally. Probably shouldn't say that. I mean,
somebody lives here.
It is a shithole. It's a third world country, so I mean, you know. I don't think they would call it paradise either. So, but this is Kenya. This is this is what this looks like.
Oh boy, not on the bucket list.
No, not at all. I can't really think of anything good to say about it.
It's on the fuck that list.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I mean, holy shit, dude. This is pretty bad, you know? You know what? I bet these people are happy.
Probably are. They live a simpler life
No
than us.
shit.
So.
Like there was this documentary where there was these African, I think it was like 3 African guys that were, you know, well educated and were looking forward to coming to America. And then they got here and they were so excited, but then, you know, they started working and they had to pay bills and all this bullshit. And then they got really depressed. Like, yeah, everything's over here, but the life is like terrible over here. In most places, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tonight we're going to the shanty town of Makuro Ira Njinga.
I was like, probably not how it's pronounced, but that's okay.
The shanty town of Makuro Iwa Njinga. I want to start with a 26-year-old, a Josephine Owino. Is a female hair braider. She goes missing, and her sister, her younger sister, Paris Kia, is out searching for her.
Mm-hmm.
Her big sister goes missing. It's not like her. You saw the town, the village we're in. Where's she going to go? There's not many places to go. She doesn't come home after work. They check her work at the hair salon. She's not there. So she is missing. The younger sister, Paris Kia, goes to multiple police stations pleading for help, and none of the police care. And I say that because the police are corrupt in a lot of these little countries. Not all of them.
A lot of places, yeah.
Not all of them, but in this story, they are. A lot of them, the majority of them. Anyway, so the younger sister goes to multiple police stations. She's pleading, help me find my sister, please. Nothing. They don't do anything. Get out of here, whatever. She'll turn up, I'm sure. Stop bothering us. Go away. That night, and this is recent, this is 2 months ago, that night in July, the sister has a dream. And in this dream, she is being pulled by this. She doesn't know why. She can hear her sister's voice, her older sister's voice, but she doesn't see her. But she's following the voice and she's getting pulled up this hill. She's walking up this hill, and this hill doesn't necessarily look familiar, but when she's on the top of it, she knows exactly where she's at because she can see the town, and it's the town that she lives in. And she walks over to a little quarry on top of this hill that is filled with trash. It's a dump site, basically, which is really there in the town. So it's also in her dream. And this is what Miss Kia would tell the New York Times.
From the New York Times, Miss Kia said she dreamed that her sister woke her up, led her toward a hill, pointed down, and said, I am inside the water, adding, please get me out. Please find me and bury me.
That's crazy. That is crazy, right?
Well, did they find her there?
Yeah.
They did find not only her there, they also pulled out 10 other women who had been missing. This is a photo right here of some of the volunteers pulling her out.
Wow.
It says volunteers carry the body of an unknown person retrieved with 7 others from a dump site near Nairobi on July 12th. This just happened in July. July 12th is when they started pulling out all these bodies. And you see here some of the sacks that were pulled out of this quarry. So this younger sister dreamed that her sister was calling her up this hill, and basically she led her younger sister directly to her body, which is crazy. It makes you think, you know, I mean, a lot of these cultures, you know, they have a more open mind than us Americans. So, I mean, I believe it because, I mean, yeah, the town's not that large, but I mean, how would she know to go up this one hill and look into this one quarry with all this trash?
I mean, we've heard even crazier things, you know?
That's
that is
really
pretty crazy.
So that's interesting. Wolfie says they look small. Well, that's because those aren't entire bodies in there.
No.
It's because they're in the pool.
What? They're in the pool.
Never mind. Never mind.
No, I don't get it.
It was a Seinfeld reference. I'm surprised you didn't get it.
Oh, the small penis thing. Sorry.
It was in the pool.
Yeah. You remember that one where George, he goes to the movie, he's watching a movie, and I don't know what movie it was, but like there's a blimp that crashes, and he's in the movie, he's like, oh, that's gotta hurt. And so everyone starts laughing, and he's like, oh, and people are coming up to him after the movie. He was like, that was so funny, man, what you said. So he goes back the next day and tries to redo it. And everyone's like, shut up.
I love that show. I
have not watched it.
Dude,
like I've seen a couple bits and pieces, but I'm not.
It's very funny, and like if you like Curb, then you'll like Seinfeld. But if you don't like Curb, then you won't like Seinfeld.
I think it's
Eventually,
funny.
we got to watch that show too. I mean, that Curb Your
What?
Enthusiasm. Because I mean, I hear good
Yes,
things. About
please do. I need more friends to talk about
Well,
it.
It's funny. I mean, I watched a while ago.
He'll watch it without telling me, so I can't enjoy discussing it.
Yeah.
I know.
No, I actually think he would really find it funny
Yeah, I probably
I
would.
really think that you
Yeah.
would.
because, like, it's one of those like the character is you type of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's like
Yes,
super
100%.
grumpy and like fucking hates everybody and is
But like he's also me because he gets into these ridiculous situations that no one else would get into.
But it's
Like everyone can relate to Larry David a little bit, even if they don't think that
What
they
is
can.
what is him? What is that?
How I
How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, okay.
I love How I Met Your Mother.
Josephine, the 26-year-old hair braider, she was found in this pool of water / rubbish. It was a quarry filled with trash. Just as her younger sister had told the police. The police didn't even volunteer to pull the sacks out of the quarry. As you saw in that photo, there are no policemen doing that. That is all volunteers. Now, this may be how it is around this parts, but she had to enlist several men to actually pull these sacks out of this quarry, and they did demand money just to search it. And then when they started pulling them out, they demanded more money. I mean, that is just how it is. Like the New York Times kind of made it sound like that was a bad thing, but anyway. They pulled out one sack, and as Wolfie suggested, they're small, and that's because these are cut up torsos and arms and legs. And as soon as they see one torso through the sack, Kia runs to the police station, and then a few cops come out, and they're just sitting there watching these sacks being lifted out. At least 10 sacks were found containing, quote, amputated limbs and torsos, end quote. In fact, only one body was found intact out of the 10 that were pulled out of the quarry. The police said, quote, the bodies wrapped in bags and secured by nylon ropes had visible marks of torture and mutilation. So tonight we're talking about this guy right here. The reason we're talking about him is because he is supposedly the killer who has admitted to killing 42 women in this small town.
Wow.
Which begs the question, how the fuck did no one notice?
Right. If it's a small
Legit.
town or that he was involved, you know?
So this guy right here, I would guess, he's Kenyan. I don't know.
He looks like a young man, like
Yeah,
in
there you
his
go.
20s,
He does.
maybe.
Does he look like a psychopathic vampire killer?
No.
I don't know that I would be able to identify that in many people unless they were like wearing
fangs with seeping blood.
Yeah. And yeah.
But he kind of he looks, I would say, early 20s. I mean, he's like physically fit, you know. I don't know, I would never have guessed. ever.
Wolfie says he's a monster. This is Collins Jumaisi Khalusha. He was arrested at a bar while he was watching the Euro 2024 football final. He was arrested and then he confessed to killing 42 females. This is the older sister that was pulled out of the quarry right here. You see, she's a hair braider. Obviously, she's got great braids there. But that's her sister holding up her photo, her younger sister. The reason this guy keeps popping up on headlines is because he is currently on the lam. He escaped a prison and no one knows where he is.
Oh boy.
However, it gets a little more complicated than that. When Kia had this dream and she goes to the police, she went before when her sister was missing and the police didn't give a shit. She goes again once they're pulling torsos and amputated arms and legs out of this quarry, and they're just like nonchalant. Okay, I guess we'll come watch. Okay. And then they don't even help actually extract any of the bodies. That's a little weird.
That is weird.
It's also a little weird that the police station is 109 yards away from where all these bodies were thrown into this pond, and that 42 supposedly women have been killed. And they had no idea. They had no idea someone is dumping the severed limbs and bodies not even a football field away from their police station. Anyway, they arrest this guy, and his lawyer says, yeah, he confessed, of course. You beat the shit out of him, you starve him, and you slap him around a bunch of times, you threaten him, you threaten his family. Of course he confessed to killing these women. The police say that this guy was using burner phones. That's how they arrested him to begin with, because they found forensic cell phone evidence, is what they said, which is like, okay, yeah, maybe in America, but this is Kenya. And
well, if he's in the state, if it's in one town, you know what I mean?
I also feel like Kenya is not as like I feel like our idea of third world countries when we were like in high school are like, that's one thing, but they have evolved since then. It's been like 20 years since we were in high school, so they have cell phones over there. It's not like they don't have they don't have all of the technology that we have, but they have some technology.
Well,
yeah.
So can you read this is from what Kia was saying as she was pleading to the police.
They felt nothing for us, Miss Kia said of her pleas to the police to look for her sister. As she sat at various police stations for hours, cradling her sister's toddler who was crying for her mother, I was shaking with anger, she said.
They're pulling out all these bodies and amputated limbs, and the police, they immediately, almost the next day, arrest someone after they do forensic cell phone analysis. All right. I don't know if I'm portraying this right, but there's a lot of shady things about this case. The latest thing, as we'll see, the news that had came out is not only did this man escape, but 6 officers, at least 6 were arrested and 8 were fired. 8 of the police officers helped him escape. 8 of this.
That's not corrupt or anything.
That's more. That's like almost. I mean, I'm sure they only have like maybe 12. Holy shit, right? Anyway, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this guy, right? He confessed to killing 42 women, including his wife, in the past 2 years, and he threw them all into this dump. He was arrested at a nearby bar. The confession was extremely quick. Many were suspicious, and his lawyer is saying that the police used torture as a confession and that they didn't even really know how to do the forensic cell phone, anything with that, right? About this guy, the supposed killer.
Neighbors say he mostly kept to himself and sold SIM cards at the nearby market. They said they saw women visiting him, some of whom stayed over the weekend and socialized with other neighbors. But they never witnessed him abusing the woman or heard any screams or loud noises from his room.
So, Wolfie, I don't know if a lot of them were sex workers. I did not see even one that was labeled as a prostitute of any kind. I mean, the one that we started with worked at a salon. I did not see one that was labeled as that. I don't even know. I mean, maybe, but it's looking like no. His neighbors think it is impossible for this guy to have done this. They live in an apartment pretty close to the police station, but the apartment is not like over here. These are less than half the size of studio apartments over here. They are extremely small and the walls are basically paper thin. So you're telling me that this guy, this young man, invited women over here. I mean, women are going to come to his house anyway. He's a good looking dude, right? There's no screaming. There's no yelling. There's no altercations. There's no punching the walls. There's nothing. There's no sawing.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, well, you could have drugged someone and not have there be
There's no ripping
noise.
of limbs up. There's no smell of decomposition.
Or maybe he's doing it somewhere else.
There's nothing. So his neighbors think it's impossible for him to stuff at least 10 bodies in these sacks and dump them into this quarry. All right. That's what the neighbors are saying, because it's just it'd be impossible. Plus, he admitted to 42 women. Who were the other victims? They only have 10 coming out of the quarry. Now, police got this guy to confess before they even finished pulling all these bodies out of the quarry.
Well, how'd they get him to confess?
If you asked his lawyer, they beat the shit out of him, starved him, roughed him up, threatened him.
Wolfie, I think that he said he was selling SIM cards.
Yeah,
right?
he was selling SIM cards. So he had a lot of burner phones, and he did
that makes sense.
He did have contact with a lot of the victims, but as you saw the town, I mean, how many people are in that little?
Okay, I'll play devil's advocate. Small town,
maybe like 1,000.
Everybody knows everybody.
Literally, yeah. 2 other people were also arrested. One was in possession of one of the women's phones that were found in the quarry. However, that news ends there. They were arrested. No one knows who they are. No one knows that they've been released. I did not find anything else about these other 2 people that were arrested. So I don't know. The Kenyan police were quick to get this guy to confess, and now they've gotten in trouble helping him escape. Okay. The people already hated the Kenyan police because not too long ago there was a protest, a peaceful protest against tax hikes, and the Kenyan police brought live bullets, killing at least 50 people that were protesting. They also abducted one journalist covering the story.
Wow.
So the police are beyond corrupt in this. You think our cops are bad over here?
Ain't nothing.
Holy shit, dude. I mean, think about having a protest over here like Black Lives Matter, whatever the cause is. You're protesting, or, the Gaza bullshit. You're at school protesting. Yeah, America sucks. This is a smaller community of Kenyans protesting, and 50 people get shot and killed during a protest. Holy fuck.
That's such a...
I mean, dude, over here, they shoot them with beanbags, and it gets on the news if someone like loses an eye or something in a protest. Over there, they kill 50 people. So everyone hates the police over there, obviously.
Yeah.
The attorney for this man said that after he confessed, they didn't let him have a lawyer. They only let him have a lawyer after he confessed. Okay. And I know the system may be a little different over there, but they would not allow the lawyer to even see his client. He would go to the police station and they would completely block him on several occasions. Could not see this guy. He said his client was, quote, writhing in pain and needed urgent medical care after he confessed.
Boy.
Urgent medical care for a confession, right? The police would also block the attorney from seeing him.
Wow.
Is that legal? I guess it's totally different because it's Kenya,
it's
but...
not.
You would think it's not.
No, to answer your question, it is not legal, but neither is using live rounds at a peaceful protest. They want to increase the taxes so people protest, obviously, and they kill 50 people. Like, what are you going to do there? I mean, it's going to make you never want to protest again.
Not the headline story that I thought it would be, right? Because we read the headline, and I do remember talking about like him being on the run.
Yeah, well,
But now I'm like, well, shit, did this guy even do it?
well, the police commissioner came out and said, this is a very evil man. He's a vampire psychopath killer. Okay, number one, how would they know he had any vampiric motives? Okay, he never admitted to that, and the bodies were cut up into pieces. Number two, okay, these bodies were found 109 yards away from your police station. That's crazy. Okay, and number three, literally all your cops get fired for helping him escape. Number four, you beat him up where he needs urgent medical care, and that's the only way you get a confession. How crazy is that, man? Shit.
This is not how I thought that was going to turn out.
Honestly, it's like the police commissioner just said the word psychopathic vampire.
And everyone went crazy.
But the thing is, like, he probably, honestly, he's not, I don't think he's doing it, man. This is what his lawyer says.
Anybody fearing for his or her life would say whatever his oppressors want to hear. The suspect's lawyer, John Mena Negwa, said of the confession, the whole case, he said, negates common sense.
He says he was, quote, strangled to confess. You could tell he was in distress, terrified, and in anguish. That's what the lawyer tells the BBC. Now, I did a little bit of digging into this because, as Wolfie asked, are they sex workers? They may not be, possibly not. Apparently, there's a really bad problem with femicide over in these parts of Kenya. Women are beyond oppressed. They're murdered for speaking out and doing things. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those women that ended up dismembered in that quarry, you can bet your ass that it was most likely an act of femicide, and it was possibly related to those tax hikes, because that was right before. The tax hike thing was a big problem. They kill 50 people, and then now you have 10 people being pulled from the quarry, and they're all females. So I think a lot of that may go together. And
wow.
And it's right next to the police station. What the fuck?
Oh,
the police used that quarry for their trash dump.
Oh boy.
Right? Dude, how nuts.
What in the I cannot I mean, none
it's
of
like
the
beyond comprehension.
Yeah,
for us.
And none of the headlines talk about this, right? They're just talking about escaped vampire, whatever, who killed 42 women.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Maybe we just skimmed it too much.
No. I mean, I've done every article that I could find about this. I've done it. I mean, there's a reason that the police help them escape, right? Because they knew, oh fuck, this isn't going to work.
Wow.
This isn't going to work.
Jesus.
Honestly, they probably, I mean, he did right, escape, Wolfie. But they probably just fucking killed him. Honestly, he's probably dead, I'd imagine. If that was my... Anyway, another victim, Rosaline Ogongo, 24, she actually moved to Nairobi 3 months ago. She was happy. She was a happy 24-year-old, always posting on TikTok. And on June 28th, she left. And on June 28th, she left her home. She just got here 3 months ago, and she was found a month later in the trash dump. Her family rushed to the morgue to see if it was their beautiful daughter, and that's when they recognized her yellow shirt.
From the New York Times, when bodies began surfacing at the dump site last week, the family rushed to the morgue to see if she was among them. As they viewed the mutilated bodies, they recognized a yellow t-shirt she loved to wear. Only her torso lay on the metal table, Mr. Ogongo said.
So here's some of the possessions that were found with, you see a lot of personal stuff, underwear, cell phones, a lot of cell phones here, driver's licenses. Damn, they kind of look like our driver's licenses a little bit. I don't know what these red things are right here, but you have cell phones, there's a computer there, some cigarettes. So these are all the victims. There's a purse, belongings, you know. This is all the evidence. What?
Wolfie says, can you snap a photo of unnamed puppy? From this angle, he looks like he was assembled like a confusing IKEA shelf.
What?
He is at a very like splayed out.
Yeah.
Do you have your phone on you? Mine's downstairs.
Oh, fuck no. That would
Oh,
be
wait, take a picture of your iPad.
No, yeah, I can do that. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Good call, Wolfie. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Whatever you want, Wolfie. You're the only one who showed up today.
Yeah.
Sure, show me
I'm
that
going to
for
send
us,
you, let's send her
Wolfie
something
gets a
good.
prize. Point for Wolfie.
I'm going to send you something really good. Mr. Agongo kept staring at the photo of his sister on the phone, the photo of her sister's mutilated body. Every few minutes, he flipped to watch the video of her dancing in the same yellow t-shirt. Quote, I really miss her, he said. Let's talk about this, quote, vampire psychopath and his escape. This guy, this killer is 33. He said he confessed to killing his own wife, but I didn't see that he was even married, honestly. He was described as a vampire psychopath. I have no idea how they got that. 13 convicts escaped, including him. They escaped through a wire mesh from their jail cell, and then they scaled the perimeter wall. Obviously, this isn't like a supermax, right? But from August 21st, I actually researched this story about 5 days ago. So if there is brand new news, I'm not aware of it. But from the BBC, August 21st stated that since his escape, 5 police officers have been arrested and 8 other officers were suspended. So
crazy.
5 arrested, 8 suspended.
And this is in regards to helping him escape.
Yes, this is only...
So this does not have anything to do with the 42 women who were murdered.
No, this is only in regards to helping this guy escape. 5 have been arrested, 8 suspended. That is, 13 of the small town police...
But so are they the good guys? Did they know he was innocent and did they actually help him escape?
Oh, that's actually a good theory. I mean, but then they're the ones that also made him confess, right? I mean, I don't know how many cops they have in there.
I don't know.
13 of them were involved in helping him escape. What the fuck?
Well, we also don't know it's actually 42 victims because only 10 bodies were pulled out, right?
Exactly. So there was only 10 bodies pulled out, 10 sacks pulled out, and at least 7, it may be 10 bodies altogether. But that's all the news about this Kenyan psychopath vampire that we keep hearing on headlines.
Wow.
So the last thing we heard was that he escaped, and who knows where he's at now. I mean, because when I first heard this, I was like, man, this guy must be sadistic. He's like the serpent. He's probably in France or something.
Yeah. I remember.
But
you
now
saying
I'm
that.
like, this guy probably didn't even do it. And it's probably just either related to these tax hikes or some femicide bullshit that they've been dealing with for years over there. They're, women speak out and or whatever, or women get too much privilege and then they end up dismembered in a fucking by the police station. The same trash dump that the police station uses to dump all their paperwork and all their trash. The same one is where they pulled all these bodies out, which the police refused to help them pull these bodies out. And they refused to search for any of these missing women.
Crazy.
And now 13 of them have been indicted, or at least accused, 5 arrested for helping him escape. Talk about corruption, dude.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like the worst things over here for us is just like really racist cops. Over there, it's just like Jesus Christ.
Goodness gracious.
Holy shit. Anyway, that's all the
crazy.
news we have. I don't know. Will he be caught? Fuck. I mean, they may even have killed him off by now. Who knows, man? Honestly, it's just like these 50 people that were killed in this recent tax hike. This just happened a few months ago. It didn't even blip the headlines. That 50 people were killed in a peaceful protest did not even blip our true crime headlines.
You know what? Shram may have posted it. It's possible.
I mean, so you think this is going to go? That's how they can do it, because the news isn't going to carry it very far. Who gives a shit? It's in fucking Kenya.
Yeah.
If this was in freaking, Florida or California, oh man, the whole world would be watching it, But in Kenya, it's just like an everyday kind of thing, man.
Shit. That's fucking crazy.
So, yeah, anyway, that was that story. I want to do more of y'all's suggestions, and I want to do one tomorrow. Honestly, I got all day, and I want to dive into a serial killer tomorrow, definitely. But all right, well, thanks guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.